What is going down, everyone? It's the holiday time. This is our Christmas episode, guys. Happy holidays to you guys out there. Hope you guys have a great Christmas. We've got another great episode of The Hype. We're going to talk Messi. Where does he rank with the GOATs among the hobby? Where does his cards fall after that epic World Cup win? We're going to talk football, as always. Bowman draft is here. And we're doing breaks here at Mojobreak.com of all your Bowman draft needs, whether it be a case of jumbo, case of super jumbo. We've got 2 boxes. We've got mixers, and it's pick your team randoms. We've got all sorts of stuff to chase Jackson Holiday, Tamar Johnson, Elijah Green, all these top prospects in the 2022 Bowman draft. We're going to have our NFL Blitz segments, which it's probably hard to talk. It's probably hard for Dan to talk football these days. Eliminated. Out of the playoffs.
Still Super Bowl champions. I mean, we are 100% not going to repeat. Not going to happen. Like you said, eliminated. Injuries are a thing, whatever. Everybody fights through them, but it is what it is. Up until today, I was pretty excited about baseball. I have already moved past the football season. I was on the baseball. Being a Giants fan, having one of the best off seasons that we have had in decades.
Was it the best after we didn't sign Aaron Judge?
Carlos Correa was my guy. And I gotta say, that is past tense. Was. All Giants fans' hearts broken today. I don't even know it.
Carlos Correa was like a lottery ticket. You get it, and you dream of what it could be, and then you find out you lose. That's what he was for about 6 days. Hope you didn't order any jerseys with his name on it. Assuming, did he even say he was going to wear number 2 again, or is that just a given?
We will never know.
What we will know, and I
wasn't there a former pitcher named?
I can't.
Wasn't there a former pitcher named Correa? Maybe just change the number and you say it's
Kevin Correa.
Kevin Correa jersey.
Yeah.
It's a
Kevin
Correa jersey.
So when it happened, I basically was on a walk, came home, saw it was like relatively late. I'm talking about when the Giants announced that they were going to sign Carlos Correa. I came back. My wife is a Giants fan, and I'm like, get ready. We have a new face of our franchise for the foreseeable future. He is going to be exciting to watch. I got to go home tonight and break it to her and be like, remember that guy I said was going to be the face?
Now let's take our Giants fandom out of this equation. If you are a investor, if we're using that word, I know those words, we weighed the line on that when it comes to sports cards. Say you are a collector of Carlos Correa and you have his 2013 Bowman auto. Are you happier that he's moved on to the Mets as opposed to the Giants?
Unfortunately, yes. He
I
gets to play with his buddy his whole
you,
career.
You just went over the lineup. The Giants lineup with Correa was going to be good. It wasn't going to be as good as the Mets lineup.
If the Mets do not win a World Series this year, or frankly multiple World Series over the next few years, it will be a failure. Yeah. Steve Cohen, money is not an object to Steve Cohen, and you know what? We need more owners like it.
Money may not buy happiness, but it buys a baseball team.
We've seen it. You know what? We've seen it here with the Warriors. I know the Warriors also, you want to talk about another team that got embarrassed in New York last night. The Warriors looked terrible against the Knicks, but not the point. The fact is the Warriors have opened the checkbook, and they have made that team the number one attraction in the Bay Area, one of the number one attractions in the world when it comes to sports. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson are world famous because they opened up the checkbook, said whatever it takes to put a winner out there. Look, we need more owners like these guys, like Lacob, like Cohen. This is what we need in sports.
I actually can't remember a time personally where all of my teams are just having bad times at the same time.
Sharks
did not look good yesterday.
I mean, they're a bad hockey team. We kind of knew they were going to be a bad hockey team.
Yeah.
The Warriors, what is going on? Curry's out. It's bad. It's bad times. They are maybe a bubble playoff team at the moment. I actually think they're on the outside looking in, but You're stretching out your
I
shirt.
just wanted to make sure that they
Stretching it out.
saw the
Yeah,
logo.
Actually,
because there is one team
so
in the
if you're
Bay
not-
Area that's
if you're
doing
listening
well.
on the podcast, Doug has a festive Christmas 49er sweater.
Ugly sweater is what they call it.
It's the ugly part you got right. You got that part right, but does it take batteries?
I think it came with it. I don't even if it goes out. I don't know what I'm doing, but hopefully.
Oh no,
we'll
I mean
find
you're
that
just
out.
gonna have an ugly
Non-light.
sweater.
It doesn't light up
It's not
at
gonna
that
light
point.
up anymore. But
Yeah, just don't wear that in a rainstorm. I
that's
guess
what I
would be.
said. I'm
You
like,
never know.
don't get electrocuted.
But you know what? We sound like spoiled fans here because you got
What-
fans. You have like fans of Pittsburgh that are like, we can only dream of making the playoffs and winning a playoff series, and you guys just won 3 World Series championships.
Pittsburgh,
less than a decade
They
ago.
have the Steelers. They have the Penguins.
Different standard around here. You see, you win 3, and then also you watch that basketball win as much as they are. Look, the 49ers haven't won a Super Bowl, but they have been consistently a winner now for a while.
Nothing wrong with silver, I guess.
You know, hey,
We got there.
You've got a
Not. I
different
mean, not.
standard.
I don't know what the we talk is. I mean, my team got there last year. Got it done.
Who's the worst major market city sports team wise?
San Francisco.
No. I'm talking about
Today?
championship droughts, like where the least successful.
like the big
Cleveland.
ones?
Detroit.
Cleveland.
Well, if we're talking major market, I'm thinking like the big ones: Chicago,
Right.
L.A., New York.
Well, you got to have at least 3 sports teams, I think, to qualify.
The Bears have hung on to that championship for a long, long time.
Blackhawk. The Bulls.
I mean, I'm just talking team. I'm just talking individual team. Clippers,
I'm talking about the
obviously.
full
Yeah,
city.
yeah.
Like
When did the Tigers win a World Series?
They have not won one since the 80s.
Red Wings.
They have been bad for a while, but they have a lot of success. They have
And
enough
then-
success.
but the Pistons won in the early 2000s.
Pistons won in the early 2000s. Red Wings have won more recently.
So I think
Lions are the
Detroit
Lions.
might have it the worst.
Cleveland.
No, Cleveland just
Cavs.
Cavs not too long
Not
ago.
that long ago. Still
That
fresh.
was one.
I mean, I would say that. I mean, San Diego has a pretty rough sports history. I don't think they have a single championship. A lot of teams moving in and out of there. So hey,
Yeah, because you used to have the San Diego, the basketball team that moved to the
Clippers used to be
Clippers.
there. The Rockets used to be there. Obviously, the Chargers. Many years of almost so close, but yet so far.
Yeah, those Marty Schottenheimer years. Yeah, I mean, so, I know we got off on a little bit of tangent here, but before we get into talking about Messi, I wanted to talk about this Aaron Judge, 7th best home run season of all time.
Is it really 7th?
It's 7th.
Is
I
it?
believe.
Is it?
It's
Something like that.
If you look it up real quick.
Well,
I think
I
think
have
there's 2 or 3 Sammy Sosas and 2 or 3
yeah,
Maguires.
Bonds and McGuire and
Bonds, McGuire.
Sosa.
There's another Sosa in there. There's like I can't remember who else. Maris, obviously.
Maris.
So you have Barry Bonds, McGuire, Sosa, McGuire, Sosa, then Judge. So
the only thing that
Sammy
tells me is that
Sosa.
Sammy Sosa should be in the Hall of Fame.
Sammy Sosa had 3 amazing home run seasons.
And never, I don't believe, ever led the league in home runs in any of those seasons.
No, which is even
Wild.
more ironic. But my whole thing here is that ball sold for $1.5 million. And it's the 7th greatest home run total of all time. And this was through Golden. And I know there was Probstein offering $2 million, and somebody offered $3 million.
Probably not
Real offers.
Probably
maybe.
not offering $2 million now though.
But I wouldn't think
Probably
so.
going to want to check those comps.
I'm
know
just
what
thinking
I'm
that I just think that thing's. I mean, personally, and we'll go a little round table on this. I think it's sold for too much. I mean, it's. I think it should be like a $250,000 to $300,000 ball.
Man,
personally.
I love to sit here and play devil's advocate. I'd love to be like, that's a steal. Should have been like 17 million. It would have been if it was 2 years ago when everybody's throwing money around like crazy people.
But that's what happens if he hits 63 this year? Then does that one not worth anything?
It's
at that point.
it's worth.
It's
less.
a risky investment.
Do we
It's the
really
most
do
of the
we-
American League
Do we
now.
really think Aaron Judge is going to hit more than 62 homers?
I mean, it's possible. It's doable. I mean, 6 other seasons beat him. I mean, you could say, "Oh, well, those guys did steroids."
Haven't
you
we
could say that.
confirmed? Haven't we confirmed? Didn't this just actually? I think this was a story within the Giants organization. I know we've been talking about the Giants a lot, but wasn't somebody coming out with the Giants saying that there's 2 different balls?
Oh yeah, there's a big story right now. There's a really good report.
And in baseball, somebody from the Giant, Slater, Austin Slater.
Austin Slater was one of the guys. Yeah.
I'm gonna take these two balls and I'm gonna basically do test on them, independent test on them, because I know they're both different. And Major League Baseball was like, you take these balls out of the facility, then whoever takes them is getting fired.
I believe there's a good report. I want to say it's like Business Insider or something.
This is recent?
Quite
Yes.
remember. It was during the winter meetings, and again, one of the craziest winter meetings of all time. Literally the day all of the crazy judge stuff was happening, that report came out. And it's like, boy, did Major League Baseball get lucky with that, because they're not two. There are 3 different types of baseballs, and what came out was that they were the Goldilocks ball, as they call it, was used most frequently for Yankee games.
Yeah.
So look, Judge did something incredible. I don't take anything away from him. He didn't know what was happening, and also,
how do we get the Goldilocks balls?
right? How do we get those Goldilocks balls?
Is this
and
real?
Also,
This is a real thing.
and also statistically, he had better months in the months prior to the balls being switched.
I just want to know.
So just throwing that out there. It doesn't take anything away from what he did.
62 is going to change the value of it? Is 62 a Goldilocks?
I don't know.
We don't know.
We don't
So
know.
is
Austin Slater may know, though.
do certain breakers in this industry get Goldilocks cases?
Possibly. This
We'll leave it
one's
at that.
Just right.
We'll leave it
it feels like there might be something that's just right.
We'll leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, 1.5 million is crazy. I mean, props to Golden for getting that thing sold. The crazy thing is the guy that I caught it, I believe his wife is a social media conglomerate. She has a lot of Instagram followers and is kind of, I think, semi-famous. So they did a lot of interviews with her and him about the catching of the ball. And
Great to see the rich getting richer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just a really heartwarming.
Exactly. So,
I mean, would you rather him get it or Zach Hampel?
Fair enough.
Anybody over Zach Hampel. Anybody over Zach Hampel. Punchable face.
And does Zach Hampel, do you think he sells it? That is, I mean,
I don't know what his MO is when it comes to that. I think that one isn't. You gotta sell that one. It doesn't matter who you are.
But
You're selling
imagine
that
the
ball.
hate that he would get if he was like, I'm selling it.
Yeah.
As I pushed over a kid to grab it.
honestly, you buy that, right? How do you even display that properly? Do you make a poster around it to say what it is?
I mean,
because to the naked eye, it's just a baseball.
I'm
that's
pretty
used.
sure that they will because I mean they escorted that guy out of the building.
Yep.
Got him there. I'm sure what they did was they went to historians who were there, and basically got a verification there.
Oh, it has.
Okay,
it has the hologram on it and everything.
Oh, that's right. And they switched the balls up for Judge. Well, there you go. They switched the balls too. They had
The Goldilocks
a
ball,
mark.
so it is a Goldilocks.
Yeah. So they had a mark on it that said this is a Judge. If this ball gets hit, that's a Judge historic ball.
Wow.
Interesting. I mean, let's pivot into Messi because I think we talked about it off air, and great accomplishment, great World Cup. But I think when you go into the World Cup, you have 32 teams that are competing for the Cup, and you literally have the best case scenario for a World Cup final with comparable to the NBA. We can say that Mbappe is a young LeBron, Messi is the Jordan, and they're facing off to win it all.
I would say it was almost like all the years were always Kobe LeBron final. Come on, Kobe LeBron final. It never happened. We actually did get it in soccer.
We got it in soccer. The game lived up to the billing. I remember, it was a 7 a.m. game. It was hard for me to wake up. I saw that it was 2-0 Argentina, and I was like, maybe I don't want to tune in. It looks like this is going to be a rout for Messi. My wife says, it's 2-2 now. I'm like, okay, I need to get my booty on the couch and watch the rest of this game. And, man, it was an insane game, and Messi is the winner. And I think – if you're looking at soccer's pedigree and you have Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, I think Messi and Ronaldo were pretty close, but I think this World Cup now on his resume puts him above Ronaldo.
I think you're right. I also think the other storyline is France going to do the first back-to-back, and how, I mean, I think there's only been one other time where there's been back-to-back winners in a World Cup. So Mbappe and France, arguably the best current player in the world going against kind of the old guard
Yep.
of Messi. I think the only other matchup that people would have really loved to see would have been a Messi Ronaldo, because it was going to be their last World Cup.
But I think you have the great blend of the next to come, great, and you have the passing of the torch situation, I think. Like, hey, the old guy's going to get one before he goes out. Now it's yours.
I
You're
also
the-
think that Messi generally is more likable than Ronaldo.
Yes, I agree with that.
Definitely.
I agree with
But
that.
I went out on a limb there. I didn't know.
That's a pretty, yeah.
Was that a bold take?
No. That's an accurate take.
Yes. So we look at some of his mega cracks that sold on 6/6/2022, and by the way, that's a population on that one of, I just had it up, of
like
19.
Jeez.
So only 19 graded in a 10. So that makes it more rare than a lot of these other cards. So you're comparing it to the championship ticket Brady, which is numbered to 10. That sold for 2.4.
And that has an auto, so not quite a 1-to-1.
Not quite. Yeah. I mean, this is probably a better comparison. The 86 Fleer Jordan, granted more on the pop report. Gem 10 sold for 156. So
That has to be a six-figure card, right? Well into.
Messi's is 312,000.
Yeah.
So you could actually have two Jordans to the one Messi, but there's a lot less.
19, right?
19 and PSA 10 right now.
Yeah.
And I don't even know where you buy these packs. This was before. This was not even Panini America. This was Panini Italy. So I don't know where these packs were distributed at. So there may not even have been a lot of it made.
Well, you know what? This is going to be great content, because I may be.
You got a pack?
I have been looking at some flights to Italy for next year for a vacation, and may have to go on the hunt for some Mega Cracks Panini Italian version. Maybe we'll find him. We'll make a whole video out of it. Yeah.
Wow, what a year though. If you want to consider, I know you don't have him in this slide, but that's LeBron year when LeBron was coming up. So you have LeBron and Messi kind of coming around into the world around the same time, which is crazy. And then you have a orange refractor, probably owned by Vegas Dave, 122,000 on the Mike Trout 2009. So, you do have LeBron on this slide. You have a X-Fractor.
BGS
That's
10.
BGS 10 pristine, which that's got to be a low pop. 252,000, so getting pretty close. And I believe the X-Fractors were numbered to 250. So there's only 250 in existence, not even counting what they're graded
There
at.
was just a gold LeBron had just sold.
Really?
Yeah.
But, I'm with the pop report at 19, it seems like I think that's a pretty reasonable price. I mean, not that anybody has 312,000.
I was gonna go. I got 300,000 burning a hole in my pocket. Sign me up. Find me one, Doug.
I mean, and that's in June, so I gotta think there's maybe a slight bump. I know the industry's going down, but cards like that being so rare, the elite of the elite card collectors are bidding those ones up. I don't know if you guys have taken the time to, the World Cup is coming to the Americas in 2026, and there's I think 16 locations of where they're gonna have games. They are doing 48 teams now. So we are going from 32 to 48. So that includes 16 more teams. So you're going to have, you think Qatar's team was bad. Granted, they were the host city. You're probably going to have teams like smaller countries just getting in. So supposedly what they have proposed is instead of doing a 4-team group match, they're doing a 3-team group match. So you're only playing 2 games in the first round. But what they're saying is the soccer committee is worried about collusion, because it's a lot easier to collude in a 3-team bracket than it is to
So
collude.
would it only be one team that makes it out of?
I think 2 makes it out of there.
Boy, you are playing with fire there. Like, be careful what you ask for. Argentina won the World Cup and did it. Obviously the final was pretty incredible, but after, did it in pretty dominating fashion, and yet lost to Saudi Arabia in the first game. If that was going by this rules, there's a chance they wouldn't have even made it out of the group stage.
Right.
I don't know about that.
I think it's still up for discussion, but I think the 48 team is a guarantee. So I know Levi Stadium here where we're located is going to have anywhere from 5 to 8 games.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, in the first round, the last game, Argentina had a really good chance of getting knocked out and not
Yes.
going to the next round. We were watching that game here at the
Yes.
at the shop. Like,
So yeah, you're basically, and then you're going to go probably because you're only playing 2 games. You're going to go by. There's going to be a lot of ties. There's going to be like total goal differential at that point, and then I mean, there may be a lot of. So we'll see how they it shakes out. But then,
but you follow the dollar signs, right? More teams,
more eyeballs.
games, more venues.
Yeah, that's all it's.
I mean, more ad revenue. Let's. I mean,
Yes.
I'm actually surprised this hasn't happened before.
It's possible that they probably. I mean, I have to dig into it, but I would not be shocked if they wanted to do this for this tournament. But because of the conditions where it had to be during the wintertime and it's interrupting so many different seasons, that it would not have been feasible.
and
Whereas
also-
interrupting like what MLS and
Also,
a
I
couple
think
summer-
they only
nothing
had
to do.
like 4 venues, right?
Yes.
Where the next World Cup. I mean,
So
I
many
looked at the
venues.
map and it's.
Yeah. I believe there's 3 Mexico venues
And there's-
and 2
and-
Canada venues.
And then there is a ton in the U.S. I
yeah,
mean,
it's from New York all the way.
Yeah,
to
I would say
here.
there had to be probably on that map. There had to be at least 20 venues, 25.
No, there's
venues.
16 total.
16 venues?
16 total venues.
But yeah, you had all the major cities. You had
And then you got to coordinate the travel, right? Because you don't want somebody to play on Tuesday at, I mean, I know there's usually 4 or 5 days in between, but
they do it every Sunday.
you're going from New York and then playing at Levi and Santa Clara in California. You're going to be like traveling.
They're probably going to try to avoid having teams have to travel that much. But I mean, look at every Sunday. There's football teams that do that all the time.
Yeah.
They travel from the West Coast to the East Coast.
Yep.
Got to play on Sunday.
So it'll be interesting. It's going to be a big deal. And like you said, I mean, you're going to get, like countries probably like Bolivia that are going to make it. I mean, there's 16
throw
other
Bolivia out
there's,
there.
There's 16 other countries just because our friends here at the shop are Bolivian.
They're
And
excited.
And they hope, I mean, they're going to at least get 2 games.
They're excited.
They're getting 2 games.
They're already figuring out where Bolivia is going to be playing.
Yeah, exactly. So, but back to Leo Messi. I mean, what's your take on this, Cody, with all these prices compared to some of these other GOAT cards?
Yeah, I'm trying to, I've been thinking like, I mean, the pop report for that specific card, and I think just in general, probably a lot of highly graded Messi cards is so much lower than this stuff. I mean, if money is not an object, in a way, I think like stuff like maybe Brady and LeBron, I still might lean towards investing in that long term, but like Messi might be the third guy at this point, considering where that price was in June and where you got to imagine it's going to go now. I think he now is in that like blue chip investment sort of realm.
I think you
of
also
sports
have to
cards.
look at it as soccer and being an international market.
Yes.
As opposed to, I mean, LeBron you could say basketball, pretty international. But Brady, I mean,
It's limited.
limited.
I mean, right now might not be the time to buy Messi because the prices are really high, but you got to think with the 2026 World Cup, how many fans is that going to turn? Like, how many kids are going to become in America, North America, Mexico,
Well,
and Canada?
the last time the U.S. is hosted was '94, right? And I think, I mean, I remember that. I remember like it seemed like. And it seemed like that was kind of the start of soccer, really, from a commercial standpoint, domestically here, where you just started seeing people really talk about soccer here in the States. And it kind of just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I think the next World Cup is when it takes even that next step. I think it's going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, you
And the U.S. team is young.
yeah.
And they're good, and you give them 4 more years, like they could even get better.
And all the things that could happen in between. You've got another Women's World Cup where we know Team USA is
Really good.
Are the best in the world, and the ratings for the last one were huge. Got to imagine it's going to be bigger, and there's just going to be a lot of momentum. You're right, building.
There
towards
was,
this one.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I don't remember the 94 season or the 94 World Cup.
Remember it like
But
it was yesterday.
They had 9 locations. They had the Rose Bowl. They had Stanford. They had Pontiac, Silverdome, Giants Stadium, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Soldier Field, the Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Foxborough in Massachusetts and Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium in Washington. So expanding it this time around to 7 more stadiums and getting, Mexico and Canada involved as well. So it's going to be bigger. It's going to be huge.
Gonna be big.
And I'm thinking about all the collectors that are going to start from that. You know what I mean? That are going to be 6, 7 years old, like excited to watch Mbappe.
And then leading up to it, right? Like, again, we're expanding it to 48 countries. So there's going to be like this year. I mean, we saw there was players that you would normally be chasing in a lot of the products that came out, but their team didn't make the World Cup.
Well, yeah, like Erling Haaland.
Norway
didn't make it.
Yeah, that probably is not going to be the case in 4 years. Like, those teams, if they're decent, even if they have a superstar, they're probably going to make it.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm looking at this list. Dan can't really see it, but Messi is the go to the hobby. We've got a picture of LeBron, Brady, Messi, Jordan, and Trout. And the glaring obvious one on here is Trout. I mean, there's one, similarity to all of these other 4 guys, and that's those guys are champions. Mike Trout is not a champion.
He's not.
It's funny how he is the GOAT of baseball, and he is the living GOAT legend of baseball right now, and he hasn't even sniffed a playoff series.
Look, they signed Brandon Drury yesterday. It's better than what the Giants could say right now. So they're on the fast track.
What do we gotta
do?
What do we gotta do to have a package deal done right now for Trout and Ohtani to be Giants? What do we gotta do?
You give up the entire development that they've been doing across the street, just like Angels own that now. You give them all of Ghirardelli, the entire Ghirardelli Square. All the chocolate. They get it forever. And the entire roster.
And Luciano.
Yeah, exactly. Just throw him in. He's a throw-in.
He's a throw-in. He's a player to be named later.
And you don't like Lucille, so Lucille. Throw him in.
Oh, get. That probably is why. That probably was what it was. I think we just broke it down. Correa was like, what is your mascot again? I'm out.
Although
I'm going to Mr. Met, which is worse.
If they say, look, we already have a mascot, you have to take the rally monkey, deal's off. Sorry, deal's off. I don't want him.
I'm telling you, I think Correa was like, nah, I'm going to the giant baseball with arms.
Well, we probably wouldn't get Trout and Ohtani because they wouldn't pass physical somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
They wouldn't pass physical, so we wouldn't be able to sign. Nobody's going to pass any more physicals. So, but so I mean, last little bit about Messi. I would obviously be monitoring his cards. Like right now, this is probably the worst time to buy because the prices are all on that World Cup fever. But
any predictions, by the way? Sorry to interrupt, but I just was thinking, any prediction? Because this card there's going to be one of these cards, a 9 or a 10, that probably hits an auction house at some point in the next couple months. Where does this land in this, we saw upwards of 2 million. We saw as low as 120,000. And it is a down market. It's not going to go to 1 million. But
no, I think it's safe to say it's a 500,000 maybe.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in the half a milli, maybe slightly over.
I mean, the card itself does show him, and the photo choice is great, but it looks like it's a cheap card in my opinion. I don't know. The design wasn't the greatest. I mean, granted, it's 2004. They probably didn't make a lot of it. Didn't put a lot of resources into making soccer cards at that time. But
does it have a rookie card logo?
It does not.
No.
So it's just his first known card and widely accepted as the rookie card for Messi.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for watching The Hype. Before we get back to the action, we want to let you know about the brand new eBay Vault. Now, why vault your cards with the original marketplace? Well, that's because the eBay Vault isn't just a way to protect what you collect. It's a new way to trade. Not only have your cards never been safer, thanks to their secure, climate-controlled facility, but you're also locking in real savings. You pay no sales tax when you ship to or transact within the vault, and there are no storage fees for 2 years. Just imagine what you can do with all that money that you're saving. And with the eBay Vault's seamless in-app experience, you can track, buy, and sell your cards in real time. From listing your cards in seconds with eBay Collection to tracking trends with the eBay Price Guide, managing your collection is more seamless than ever before. The eBay Vault. Buy, sell, secure.
let's start talking about Bowman Draft. 2022 Bowman Draft released today. A pretty good checklist. I think missing is obviously Drew Jones, Andrew Jones' kid, for the Diamondbacks. And so all signs obviously point to him being in 2023 Bowman. Because that's typically what Topps does, is they hold out either. I think it's been the second pick a lot. It's been the first picks in Bowman Draft. The second pick gets, going on to Bowman. So you'll see him in the regular Bowman. But you got a lot of big names. You've got obviously Jackson Holiday. You've got Jamar Johnson. You've got Elijah Green from the Nationals. Who's that on the? Is that Cross on the left there?
Yeah, Gavin Cross. That guy's starting to get a lot of buzz from a lot of baseball insiders, a lot of guys who have been watching him. So Gavin Cross, a guy on the Royals, like a surprise success for the Royals. Played for the amateur Team USA team and was the standout guy. So kind of like came on the radar, was not a high school prospect, goes to college and becomes a massive star in college.
Part of Team USA, I believe, for the
like the summer amateur Team USA
That's what I
team
was
that they
looking for.
have. But yeah, it's Holiday. It's Holiday's the guy. Him and Jones, it's really 1A and 1B. Jones probably has more potential. I know he was more hyped up as like the cannot miss guy. The Orioles, I think, maybe wanted more signability, the easier signability with Holiday and a better positional fit. So they went with him instead. But I mean, it was like, yeah, you can't go wrong. Like, and I think we talked about it before the show started.
The real question.
Who's the guy on the Angels? It looks like Dan's brother, actually.
The real question is, whose dad's better?
Exactly.
Andrew Jones or Matt Holiday?
That's
Matt
now
Holiday.
look.
No, Andrew Jones. That
I don't
is
know.
like if you were
No, Andrew Jones.
Andrew
is
Jones
a possible Hall
better,
of
like
Famer.
better daddy, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Let me pull up Baseball Reference.
Look, there's
I mean, Matt Holiday was like a solid,
Matt Holiday is borderline.
solid
borderline.
all-star.
Yeah.
Every
7-time All-Star for.
He was very good.
a great A.
Great.
Great A.
I mean, who doesn't
I was
remember
like
that
grade A,
tenure?
like grade A beef.
No, just no A's athletics.
Yeah.
Great Oakland Athletics.
Look, I don't know if you guys have heard the term
7 days.
The term recently, Nepo baby. That's a thing going around right now, and baseball's
I
full
think
of
we're
them
gonna
right
get.
now.
I think we're gonna get blocked for that. What'd you
No,
just say?
nepotism. Like nepotism baby. Nepo baby. It's now a thing. We're not getting.
We're getting blocked.
Look, get your head out of the gutter.
Getting blocked.
But it's a thing, and now baseball's full of them. It's Vlad Guerrero, Fernando Tatis,
And then-
now Jackson Holiday.
and then you
Explain
said-
to me what it just means.
Now we can't talk about it anymore. We went too far.
I'm lost.
As in nepotism, where like somebody, if you had a family member in the industry, then you get an advantage in that industry. In baseball, celebrities, it's a thing in Hollywood right now where there's tons of young actors who are the children of celebrities are all big right now. In baseball, it's the same thing. It's all happening again in baseball as well. So,
What celebrities are big that have?
oh gosh, what was that? That girl from what's that show that's really big on HBO that I can't think. Zendaya's in it. It's not Zendaya. That's not what I'm thinking of. The one where they're doing all the drugs and everything.
Oh,
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis's kids.
Yeah, the daughter of Judd Apatow is on
Oh
that show.
yeah. Maud Apatow.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son, Denzel Washington's son.
I know Denzel
son.
Washington. He's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
The Wayans brothers.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot out there.
How?
Well, they have one Wayan.
Yeah. Damon Wayans Jr. Yeah, there's a lot out there right now. Yeah,
Schwarzenegger.
yeah, exactly. They're all.
No, I think he has.
Didn't really sound like there was a lot out there.
There's more. Trust me, there's more. There's a lot. There's a lot of them.
But yeah, so-
baseball is
But baseball's filled.
baseball by far has more. It's like your dad was a baseball player. You're a baseball.
You're a
player.
baseball player.
Yeah.
My daddy's a baseball player. My daddy's daddy was a baseball player. My daddy's daddy was a baseball player. I'm a
Yeah.
baseball player.
Well, you know what was the funny thing? We were like, we did 2 cases this morning and you've probably seen some of these players. There was so many threes, like the third. We pulled like 4
Yes.
guys that were the third.
I
Like,
noticed that too.
Blah blah blah. The third. Douglas Hodo the second. Like it was like a lot of same name guys.
Could also be Junior.
Could be.
Could have to be
And we
second.
didn't even bring up like Elijah Green, who is
yeah,
not.
and I actually just learned that before we went live.
He's not Eric Green's kid.
He is Eric Green.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
I just took a guess.
He's Eric Green, a former
And
NFL Pro Bowl tight end. Eric
and
Green.
I don't remember Eric Green.
He went to a Pro Bowl, so he was. I mean, he's so again.
Steelers.
It's
Eric Green.
Yeah, big pad days.
Yep.
Like Jerome Bettis era.
Guy-
Bigger.
A little bit before. Well, Pro Bowl 93 and 94. So yeah,
and
about
he's
that
he's
time.
got elite
How,
power. and
how did
speed.
you know who Eric Green is?
I must have had him on my fantasy team back in 93.
No, you didn't. You didn't. In 1993?
Yeah, when we had to write it in pen. Yeah, he played for Pittsburgh, Miami, Baltimore, and ended his career in 1999 with the Jets.
Eric Green. Okay.
Yep. So his son Elijah, who is got elite power and speed, he's on the Nationals. He's one of the most highly touted guys. I put him on here. Zach Neto is a guy I think that people should look at. 13th overall pick, but he's
Who's his dad?
Oh, don't know. Mr. Neto.
Mr. Neto.
Hey, so you know what? Big underdog story here. His dad didn't play baseball.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
We
Well,
don't
we had to
know.
look
Yeah.
up. We had to look up Locklear too, just to make sure.
Not Heather Locklear's kid.
Not related.
Okay.
No.
But he already is in Double A, and he just got drafted, so that he could be the first guy up of this class. I really like Tamar Johnson of the Pirates. Just like maybe the best pure hitter in the draft. Pirates have a lot of good young
What's the
talent.
first name?
Tamar.
Termar?
Yeah. Tamar Johnson.
Termar? Yeah, we pulled him.
Yep.
And
He was a redemption. We pulled
He's
him.
redemption
We
in
pulled
Well,
him
at least his
in-
blue
we
wave
pulled
was.
him
Gavin
in
Cross
the-
also a redemption
The
in this.
mood ring parallel. What do you know about it?
So that's the thing. So that's what it was, because I pulled it a couple times. I'm like, is this got to be a case hit? I've never
It's-
seen this one.
I believe it's one per case. Some cases may have two. But yeah, on average, we're getting one per case, and it's the mood ring parallel.
Okay.
Mood ring.
I pulled a Zach Neto and a Gavin Cross mood ring parallel.
I can't get over the guy I'm vested in is Ivan Melendez, the Hispanic Titanic. I mean, when you have
Great
a
name.
nickname already like that, for one, I don't know how he was a Golden Spikes Award winner and he was drafted in the second round, but Hispanic Titanic, the Diamondbacks, it's like you don't even need Drew Jones.
the
You've
guy
got
that I'm really
Hispanic
chasing,
Titanic.
Jerpy.
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 That's a good one.
Jerpy.
That's a good one.
Jerpy.
Be careful if you're breaking it. Be careful.
Melendez is exciting too, yeah, and that's such a the organization. Diamondbacks are just like so full of great young talent
They
right
do.
now. It's
They
ridiculous.
I think they might be the most stacked team in all of baseball.
I mean, if you are, it's your
Talent-wise.
first baseball card and you have a nickname, you're ascending. Like you're gonna make. I mean, he should, and right now in this market, he probably should be a top 10 selling prospect in this release, just based on nickname alone.
I think outside of those top 10, 15 guys drafted, Melendez, one of those guys that I think will do well. Yes, the nickname and the awards. Reggie Crawford, I know we're Giant-centric, but like Reggie Crawford being a two-way player that a lot of folks were saying, boy, this guy has the potential to be one of the most exciting guys. I think he'll do well.
Didn't that guy win the Golden Spikes Award?
Yes, and I actually just brought that up.
And how? I mean, you look through, and Doug's probably going to talk about it, but when's the last time a Golden Spikes Award winner went in the second round?
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Kopps won it last year. He's a pitcher in the Padres organization, and he went in the third round. So maybe the Golden Spikes is starting to fall off. But if you go back, they didn't have one in 2020 for obvious reasons. But then you have Adley Rutschman in 2019. You have
Pretty good.
Andrew Vaughn, 2018. You have
Gotta
Brendan McKay, 2017. 2016, Kyle Lewis. 2015, Andrew Benintendi. 2014, A.J. Reed. That might not have panned out. 2013, Chris Bryant. 2012, Mike Zunino. 2011, Trevor Bauer. Didn't really work out.
I mean, but at the
2010,
least.
Bryce Harper,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Strasburg,
but
Posey.
When you say didn't work, I mean,
Trevor Bauer's a good
every
pitcher.
single one every single player you said basically made the majors.
Exactly.
That's kind of working
A.J.
out.
Reed was the worst one, and he saw big league.
Yeah, I mean, out of everybody made the majors, except for obviously the last two guys that are still in the minors. But
yeah, Posey won. Yeah, you say Posey won Golden Spikes for
Yep.
sure, right?
Posey,
Yeah.
and so did Lincecum, David Price, Alex Gordon, Mark Pryor, Pat Burrell,
And a
JD
lot of
Drew.
and it's not just
I
that
would
these guys
only,
made it.
I would only draft the Golden Spike Award winner.
It's
Will
not that-
Clark.
It's not just that they
The
made
Mishler.
it. All these guys had good careers for the most part. They all had, I mean, from everything from Hall of Fame to perennial All-Star to like, hey, they're a serviceable big leaguer.
I
They
mean,
had good careers.
baseball is the hardest to scout. I mean, there's a lot of first rounders that never sniffed the big leagues.
Actually, to be fair, now the Golden Spikes Award has only started in '78, but I don't think there's a Hall of Famer yet. So,
Okay.
Dave Magadan, Will Clark, Jim Abbott, Robin Ventura,
But
Phil
these
Nevin,
are all,
Jason Varitek.
actually count the All-Star games though. A lot
there's
of
a lot.
All-Star games.
There's a lot.
A lot of All-Star games. I mean, any of these guys Hall of Famers yet? Bryce Harper, not a Hall of Famer yet.
He's pretty close.
Harper's going to Hall of
Tim
Fame.
Lincecum.
No.
No,
Timmy
but two
won't.
Cy Young awards.
He didn't play long enough.
He didn't. Mark Pryor, no. Pat
No.
Burrell, obviously not.
Isn't Mark Pryor is pitching coach?
He's
for
pitching coach for the
Dodgers
Dodgers now. Yeah.
Jason Varitek, not a Hall of Famer.
No,
right?
great player.
So we're still waiting for our first Golden Spikes Hall of Famer.
Nonetheless, these are guys who
I will
Yeah.
I will take that team. That whole Golden Spikes team, I will take that team.
I think there's a lot of people who would say, hey, that catcher you're drafting who won Golden Spikes, they're going to be Jason Varitek. You'd be like, that's great.
Great.
Sounds
Awesome.
good. Yeah.
Awesome. We got a catcher for the next decade.
Yeah.
But if you look at these, and I think it's a good idea to invest in any Golden Spikes player personally. But like you look at where they played college at. So this is also another thing. If you get drafted out of high school, obviously you're not going to win Golden Spikes.
How did
But-
Harper win it though? Because he went to he played community college.
Yeah, they actually have him as the College of Southern Nevada.
Yeah, he did community college, right?
They may have made an exception for him. Like,
So
you can't
he's
deny
the
him.
only one off because you look at like the colleges here: Oregon State, Cal, Louisville, Arkansas, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. I mean, Long Beach. I mean, these are all baseball college powerhouses, right? So, yeah, Bryce Harper might have been the exception that year. Well, and then you got Strasburg, San Diego State. I don't know if that's a big. I mean,
They
Gwynn
had
was
a-
there at the time.
Yeah, they had a moment there where when Tony Gwynn went there, they became a baseball school for a little bit.
Yeah. So, interesting. But
That's-
get your Bowman draft spots at.
Some great content.
That-
We're just really killing it right now.
We are. We're going in the time machine of Golden Spikes winners. You said that like sarcastically.
It was sincere. I, mean,
I
this
was gonna pat myself on the
No,
back.
I mean this is good episode.
Nobody brings Golden Spikes content in December better than Mojobreak.
That's right.
Nobody does it and ties it into sports cards quite like Mojobreak, the hype.
Yep.
Boom.
Golden Spikes, baby. And get your spots at mojobreak.com for upcoming
There's people who are
Bowman
like, is that an
draft
insert
breaks.
in the product? The Golden Spikes insert?
I think
The
they have
Golden-
had it though.
The Golden Spikes parallel?
I would like it.
Well, let's go into something that is golden, and that's the Niners championship chances. It's golden right now. So we're going to get into the NFL Blitz segment. And I think we're just going to rename it to the Brock Purdy Blitz, right? Segment? From now on?
Ty has a Brock Purdy jersey. The ink hasn't dried yet.
He's a smart man. I wish I would have got one. He's what can you say about Brock Purdy? You still waiting to see more? You still waiting? He's still waiting?
I want it to end.
I think we've made it pretty clear.
I want the season to be over. I just want it to be over.
You're
Just
you
stop it
counting down the
already.
days to February 15th or something.
I just like the Niners just getting knocked out in the playoffs will make everything right in the world.
Look, I'm not. Yeah, well. And I would say if you're late to the Brock Purdy train, I'm not sure if I'm investing in Brock Purdy, but certainly when those new products come out, yeah, I would be like
chasing him in breaks.
chasing them from those Niners. Those Niner spots suddenly look a whole lot better right now.
Yep.
So,
They
there's,
do look
there's
good.
at least that. So hey, they're in the playoffs. They won the NFC West.
Niner
Great for
spots
them.
may be selling better
make
this
people-
year than they were last
Yeah,
year.
which is pretty wild.
I mean, where do we sit on Trey Lance for those collectors out there that invested heavy with Trey Lance?
Yeah, I am still. We were talking about this outside
we,
of here.
we talked about it last week.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
I feel like we talked
I
about
know.
the
So
week
we'll
before.
keep it to a minimum. But the Trey Lance stuff, I still want to wait and see with Trey.
Just call this like I don't even know why.
I
You call
know,
it the NFL
Niner
play.
talk.
It's just a Niner the
Blitz,
Niner segment.
Mojobreak
Let's
Niner talk.
the Niner minute.
Look,
It's usually a few. of
how
them.
about I'll pivot because I do want to talk about Trevor Lawrence. Like I feel like
Chargers.
we've just like in charge and Bolt
The
talk.
Chargers.
Go Bolts. Say hey, big win Herbert didn't play his best game and still pulled out that victory. I'll just
Man,
say
a Chargers Niners Super Bowl. Just,
Still possible.
that'd be crushing for Cody.
It would
It's
be
like
too
I don't know
much.
I don't know what to do.
Too much.
Bring back nature on means, baby.
But we have been like kind of like barely touching it. Like everybody like, Trevor Lawrence starting to look good. I feel like it's undeniable now. We have to talk about how good Trevor Lawrence
Trevor
looks.
Lawrence is by far, and this is not a stretch, by far the best quarterback
Of that draft?
of that draft.
Easily. No
and,
question.
And it's not even close now. I mean, you can make an argument that he has probably gone into the top 10 in the league in quarterbacks. Did you know Gardner Minshew is the backup in Jacksonville?
Yeah. No, in Philly.
Yeah, in Philly.
Believe Jacksonville.
No, he's starting this
he's in
weekend in Philly.
He is?
Yeah, he's starting.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is hurt. Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
hurt.
he'll be a starter.
You
We can
sure?
skip it.
He
Positive.
heard it,
100% positive. No doubt in my mind. Okay, so
Forever a Jaguar.
with the Trevor Lawrence stuff, if you look up the slide right
caller.
now, name that QB. Trevor Lawrence is one of the options. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the other options here. QB1, these are stats since week 6. QB1,
Oh, okay.
QB1 with a 67.7 completion percentage, 3,098 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, a 102.2 rating. QB2, 68.03 completion percentage, 2,288 yards, 16 touchdowns, just 3 picks, and a 101.5 rating. QB3, 61.74 completion percentage, 2,206 yards, 16 tugs, 7 interceptions, 90.9 QB rating. Who is
QB3 is Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
No, I'm saying QB2 is Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I think you just got done saying that Trevor Lawrence had 7 interceptions.
And this is since week 6.
Yeah.
Since week 6.
since week 6. That's
Oh,
yeah.
Since
Week
week
six.
6.
Yeah.
Since week 6.
Oh, never
And it's
mind.
Josh Allen
Take
and
it
who
back.
else?
Allen, Mahomes, and Trevor Lawrence.
So I'm saying based on your silhouettes.
I
maybe
know.
look at the stats.
It kind of gives it away.
QB2 is Trevor Lawrence.
Well,
Yep. QB1 is Mahomes and QB3 is Allen.
ding, ding, ding. Yes. Yeah, if the hair didn't give it away in the silhouette, maybe it would have been a better reveal. But I think
They
it's
should have been stick figures.
the fact, though.
Could have never guessed.
All right. Mahomes obviously in the lead there in passing yards, no doubt about it. But I think it's pretty remarkable that in year 2 that Lawrence is in that conversation with these guys since now we're talking more than half of a season essentially that Lawrence has been in the same conversation with, you could argue, the 1 and 2 quarterback in the hobby.
So Mahomes has thrown 9 interceptions since week 6.
Yeah, he's been kind of wild, but
Wow.
like effectively
But
wild.
he also
Right.
He does. I mean, you look at his receivers and it's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
Hardman's out.
There's at
got
least 2 or 3
Juju.
of those picks that were
Huh?
not his
He's
fault.
got Juju. He's got MVS. He's got Kelsey. Those are all good receivers.
No, they're good receivers. Good receivers.
So,
okay.
I mean,
they are receivers.
yeah, they are receivers.
They're out there.
They have their they're out. Yeah,
They're
they're warm-blooded.
They play those positions.
They do it well. And then Jerick McKinnon had the game of his life last week. So
Jerick McKinnon has had like 3 weeks where I think he might be their best offensive threat besides Patrick Mahomes.
True.
yeah, it's crazy.
Who would've thought?
Jerick McKinnon,
And I hate that guy's face.
Jerick McKinnon is just figured. I mean, he is my favorite
hate
Niner.
that guy.
Like, I have to go through my list of Niner. I'm like, Jerick McKinnon is the guy that I really could stand behind.
Yep.
I liked what he did there.
Just got hurt twice.
I think he played 3 games and he got like $30 million.
And then
he's
talked him in the offseason.
He's my kind of player. My kind of Niner.
Just
Oh,
fragile.
your shirt went off.
I turned it off. I was trying to say the
Oh, there's a button?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
That's-
I also didn't include. I was looking up stats. Tua has a better QB rating than all those guys since week 6.
But
That's and
I
Tua's
get
looked wild.
But I get a vibe that like Tua hasn't performed well.
It's weird because I feel that way too.
Like
he slowed down.
ever since that Niners game, he's been like, he definitely isn't like carrying that team in the right direction.
No, but at the same time, like I think he is easily that team's QB of the future. It's the best QB it's the best QB situation that team has had. God, I don't know how long. For how long?
Fitz magic.
Yeah, I guess. Or who was it? Jay. What was his
Cutler?
name? Not Jay Cutler. There was a different Jay who was there for a long time.
Jay
Jay is no. Is it
Fieldly.
Feely?
Fieldler.
Jay Feely? Is that
Touchy-feely. Is that a
Touchy-feely?
kicker?
Look, it's been a while. I wasn't gonna say Dan Marino because that felt too crazy.
How about Brian Greasy? I think he was
There
in
you go.
Miami, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Was
Grease.
he?
I think Tampa.
Joey Harrington. Joey Harrington. I think he made an appearance in Miami
All
at
right,
some
look,
point.
Tua's the best QB they've had since Dan Marino. There we go. I'm gonna go on a limb because now that we've talked about all these guys, I think it's pretty clear. He's the most. That's the best the situation has been for this team.
Have they in the years that we've been doing this? Has Miami not had a rookie quarterback that people have chased?
Chad Pennington, right? Or Ryan
That's-
Tannehill.
Tannehill.
Yeah, Tannehill, but he didn't do well with the Dolphins.
No, he didn't. He did better on the Titans.
But it seems like they just don't draft quarterbacks.
Jay Fielder.
Jay Fielder.
Jay Fielder.
Is that it? I felt like we
yeah.
made that name up,
Nope,
Cody.
Jay Fielder. That's the guy
Phil.
who is probably one of the longest tenured QBs they've ever had.
I really feel like that we got to be getting that name wrong.
No, it's right. I just looked it up. 'Cause I knew it. I was like, that seems like the guy. Yeah, Jay Fielder, who was QB for the team after Marino and started pretty much every game from 2000 to 2003.
Man, that doesn't sound right, but I knew it was Jay something.
Yep.
well, and then if you look at the Jaguars, chances so they're sitting at the 10th seed right now.
I think they have like a 20% chance.
They
to make
do
the
play the
playoffs.
Jets, who are in front of them, so that's a must-win game this Thursday. Patriots are 8, and then you have the Dolphins at 8-6, so they're sitting 2 games behind the Dolphins. With,
Yeah.
is it 3 to play?
Boy,
play.
by the
So
way,
that's tough.
The Patriots are done, right?
yeah, you want to talk about a
Does
symbolic
Mac Jones ever come back?
You want to talk about a passing of the torch on Sunday of the 21 draft class. Lawrence having the game of his life, coming back and beating the Cowboys versus Mac Jones getting destroyed on the most vicious, disrespectful stiff arm
And
you've ever
Chandler
seen.
Jones
with the
didn't
worst
have to
play
do
ever.
it.
No.
He didn't have to do it. But he did it.
The worst play ever. Can we
And
agree on that?
and you see the social media of the Raiders. The tuck rule gets brought back up, and it's like it righted the wrong. The truck rule was righted.
Actually, you
for
know
that
what?
moment.
It almost happened again late in the Rams game on Monday night. There was Baker threw an interception, and the guy was running it back.
I know he saw him do it.
And he lateraled it back, and it just started. The ball just was like a
Yeah,
free
I
ball.
couldn't believe
I'm
that.
like, I'm like, what is going on in football right now? Where has the lateral ever worked? Has it always been like?
Well, we
has it ever
looked
been
it
like
up.
a surefire? This always works.
We looked it up. We looked up the play because I was like, that's got to be the funniest ending since 20 years ago. It was still Aaron Brooks was still the QB for the Saints. They
Yeah.
were down against the Jags 20-13. Had to do the desperation lateral play. There's like a forward lateral in there they didn't call. It somehow worked. They get the touchdown. They're down by 1, and
Missed
then
the field goal.
They
Missed
missed.
the
They
extra point.
missed the extra point. It's
The easiest part of the whole
yeah,
process.
and when those extra points were like 20 yards away, like a chip shot. So very funny ending, and it worked that one time, and then the easiest part didn't work. So.
But I was looking at them trying to squeeze in on the Dolphins. I forgot the Titans are 7-7.
Yeah, they're
So they're only 1 game behind the Titans right now.
the Jags. I think the Jags are going to win that division.
That's crazy. So that would be, out of all the players right now that could go into the playoffs minus Brock Purdy, who could benefit the most from getting in the playoffs? Got to be Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence.
Because he's
Trevor
more
Lawrence.
recent than anybody else.
Trevor, Tua, trying to think who else.
We
hobby
did.
heroes.
We had a
Burrow, but
we had a
Burrow.
rookie. We had a rookie make an appearance. We had Desmond Ritter come out and play for the Falcons.
Didn't
did
look
not
great.
look good.
no one even talking about him.
did not look good. You know when Monday comes around and you have a rookie make their first professional start,
Yeah.
and it's just crickets. It didn't go well. They were in the game, but he just did not look like he was ready to be out there.
Well, it's kind of just thinking too, let's say, because there's a chance Herbert, Burrow, and Tua all make the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's a chance you got
And
Trevor
Hurts.
Lawrence and Hurts.
so 4 guys from the
Jeez.
2020 class.
Of course. Yeah. You almost forget it. I almost feel like he's on another level right now because the Eagles are so good. And obviously Lawrence, and you've got Purdy. And so this last 3 years, well represented God, I don't know. You can't. You really could not ask for a better situation.
I mean, you got
from a collecting standpoint.
Kirk Cousins.
Got Kirk Cousins.
And I was going to say, you got Kirk Cousins actually is kind of like a Brock Purdy guy because he was drafted to be RG3's backup in the 6th round.
It's true.
For Washington.
I don't think Kirk Cousins was drafted in the 6th round.
I think he was drafted a little early.
I think he was
Like
drafted in the 3rd round.
I believe.
Maybe I have to go Chandler Harnish. But
Why?
Kirk Cousins.
Why would you think of Chandler?
Because he was on
Harnish?
the Colts behind
Said
Good luck.
Yeah, that is the first time someone has ever said that.
That's actually the first time anybody's ever thought
that
of Chandler Harnish.
Fourth round. But no, because we were pulling these quarterbacks in the 2012 rookie class, and we were pulling Kirk Cousins, and we were pulling Chandler Harnish, who was the backup to
Andrew Luck.
Man, the Harnish family right now having a ball like, oh my God, someone said someone said Chandler Harnish.
Mentioned him. Actually, did he even get a job after that? Is he even
Doubtful.
Actually, you want to? So I think it was the Eagles game. I think Mike Kafka is the offensive coordinator for the Eagles, and I believe Mike Kafka was a rookie in 2012.
No, it was 2010. It was a Tebow year.
Was he? Are you sure? I thought it was 2012.
2010.
But it's crazy to see players that we're opening up their rookie products, and now they're coaches. It's insane.
Yeah.
But Mike Kafka.
I still get it. Still trips me out seeing. Oh God, the Bills' offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey.
I know.
That's still that's
How about the Cowboys' offensive coordinator? Was it Kellen?
That's right.
Kellen Moore.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Didn't he play like 7 years of college or something like that?
He played, I think, Boise State. I don't know how long.
But he like redshirted like twice or something because I remember his cards. He was like the all-time record leader, but he played like 7 years.
No, that is Case Keenum.
That's Case Keenum. Yes. Sorry. Same guy.
Case Keenum.
Case.
Any picks for this week? Any bold picks for Week 16? Christmas Eve
this
games?
This is
Day
like the
games?
weirdest week of football ever, right? There's majority of the games are on Saturday.
Yep,
I
Christmas
think you have
Eve.
3 games on Christmas Day.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a Monday night game.
There is a Monday night.
There is a Monday night game.
So I
There's
think
a
it's the
Thursday
Colts, I want to say. Colts and Chargers on Monday
How do you
night.
come back? How do you come back? If you're the Colts, how do you come back?
You don't.
Why don't you just go home?
You know. Yeah, Jeff Saturday it's going to have a lot more Saturdays to
Jeff
do whatever he wants
Saturday.
going
I
forward.
mean, it
have a lot more
wasn't-
Sundays to do what he
wasn't-
wants.
wasn't
Granted, they had all these coaches that were already there, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna just bring in this guy who's teaching high school sports.
Kinda.
right now.
But he was turning it around.
Yeah, for a
And
second.
then-
He's turning the high school around.
And then didn't.
Well, no, he was turning the Colts around.
a
The Colts were still like in the running for a playoff.
I
spot.
wanted them to win that game or to tie that game because I wanted to see a 4-8-2 record. You never see it in your life.
Well, there was
4-8-2.
There was a lot of in overtime in that game. There was a lot of this is going to be the first time in history that this happens.
Yes.
Like no
Yes.
matter what happened.
Yeah.
It was like first time in history a team's ever come back from 33-0.
Just the goofiest
First time in
game.
history a team's had 2 ties in a season. I mean, it was something.
It was a
My
goofy
bold
game.
prediction, and get your dust off either your Daniel Jones or your Saquon Barkley's. I think the Giants beat Minnesota in Minnesota on Saturday.
I think that's Vikings are going to lose one of these games.
Vikings
down
are
the
It's
stretch.
pretenders.
just wishful thinking from like Niner fans. I
But-
just I want the
You know what
second
though?
seed.
Giants and Vikings is like the perfect matchup of 2 teams I have thought are pretenders all year long,
Yes.
and it's like, okay, which one of you is the real pretender here? In this scenario?
My bold prediction is there cannot be a worse televised primetime Christmas Day game than the Nickelodeon broadcast of the Rams and Broncos.
The only thing saving that is the fact that it's a Nickelodeon broadcast.
It's also CBS.
Yes.
So CBS will be doing it. Nickelodeon. Everybody who's going to be watching that game should probably be tuning into the Nickelodeon broadcast. It's the only thing that's going to
actually
be
the worst matchup of the week.
Think
that.
about
No, that is no. It is. It is by far.
There's not even close.
No, it's yeah. It's I don't even.
Think about like a few months ago when these schedules came out. You're like Rams Broncos Christmas Day. Yeah, that looks great. The NBA schedule: Warriors and Steph Curry taking on Memphis Grizzlies. And now it's like
Be
Steph's
sucking
out.
down eggnog.
Yep, Steph's out. 4-10, both teams for Broncos and Rams. Yeah, not good.
Well, they're trying to bring us together with our families more than
That's
watch,
true.
Watch TV.
That's what they really want us to do. Enjoy time with your family.
I'm sure
Stop
they don't want
watching
us to watch
football.
any of those commercials.
Yeah.
I think it's not really bold, but I think Jacksonville knocks off the Jets. I think Jacksonville makes a strong run for
Their
that
defense
division.
is really good.
I think they're going to win that division.
With Lawrence.
I think Jacksonville is going to host a home playoff game.
that would rule.
What about the Lions? The Lions and the Jaguars both making the playoffs.
The Lions
It's
are my favorite
it's like-
team.
It's a good feel good.
Lions and God? I want nothing more. I want Lions.
I want a
Jacksonville.
Lion. I want
Lions?
a Lions
Lions Jacksonville Super Bowl?
Lions
Oh!
Jag Super Bowl. I'd love it.
It would. You know what?
Roger Goodell wouldn't though.
I may have to fly out
You know what, though?
to Arizona to go to that
NFL
game.
the
Get $2 tickets, probably.
The NFL is the one sport where they can be like Detroit and Jacksonville won't matter. Everyone's going to watch anyway. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I think Green Bay has an outside. Maybe I'm crazy. I think Green Bay actually beats the Dolphins this weekend.
Oh, I think so.
I think there's still a little bit of life
I
left
think
in
Green
them.
Bay. I think Green Bay is going to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think Green Bay is going to make the playoffs.
But I think if Green Bay
and I
makes the
think
playoffs, the
Tampa, I think
Lions
Tampa
don't.
Bay is going to lock up that division. I think you're going to get a playoffs, and your teams are going to have to beat Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady.
Yep, 7-10 Bucks make that miracle run. Good
And
Lord.
you put Tom Brady into the playoffs,
yeah,
anything can happen.
right. You
nobody,
put Aaron Rodgers into the playoffs.
Nobody
and
wants to play.
you lose
Nobody
the
wants to
Niners.
play Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady.
Except the 49ers who beat Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers
nothing.
every
Ain't
time.
nothing. We've won 7 in a row. So I mean, 8 in a row this week.
You don't want to. You don't want to get hot before the playoffs.
That doesn't matter.
No, it does.
Winning culture.
It's a winning culture.
We started the season 3-4, so actually 2-4, I think, at one point. So haven't lost a game since.
That was the good old days. I mean, that was actually.
What a
I was
time.
like, man, I'm like the Niners are just going to be terrible. Rams are going to run away. At the
Well, that was
division.
like when we went to Vegas for the industry summit, and the Niners, I think, were sitting at 3-4, and I'm like, you guys are gonna trounce all over us. And
Yeah, and what's his name was out? Your left tackle.
Trent Williams.
Trent
Yep.
Williams, yeah.
Yep.
He was out.
I think he's been out on 2 Rams games now when we've won. I think he was out. He was out the last week of the season last year.
Well, he needs to, maybe if he plays, we'll win at some point.
But yeah, crazy, wild things happen in the NFL.
Not that
but
crazy.
Some wild storylines coming up with some of these other teams getting in, some of these other teams not getting in. So I will be at the game this Saturday wearing this shirt. So if you see me there, say hi. I'll be at the Washington Commanders.
Your
San
team,
Francisco
your
49ers.
team colors are red, so you're not going to really stand out.
No, I won't.
You're
But,
going to blend in.
See if another guy's wearing my
Somebody
shirt as
else will
well.
have that shirt.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will.
They also know how to use the internet to order something.
You'd be surprised these days, man.
The
I don't know
internet
if you will. It's a tough thing.
it is tough to navigate. I will give you that. It's not as easy as I'm making it sound. It's very, very difficult.
I was going to mention before we go, I want to see if Cody watched it. Did you watch the Manning cast on Monday?
I did not know.
I actually don't think I'll watch, unless my team's playing. I don't think I'll watch it any other way.
It's fantastic.
It is.
Honestly, it is legitimately fantastic. The one that with the Broncos one early in the season where it was like, what was it? Why aren't you going for the field goal one? Insane, or no, when they went for that 70-yard field goal, basically one of the funniest moments on live TV in an NFL game this year. So, yeah,
And they
top-notch
don't even
stuff.
really talk about the plays. They just literally have conversations while the game's going on, and I think it's definitely a unique way to watch a game because you got the insights of 2 quarterbacks, 2 Hall of Famers.
I don't know if I like it for other broadcasts have tried to replicate it, and I don't think it's worked. I think there's just something about the fact that it's the 2 of them, both being brothers. They get great guests. There's a natural chemistry between the 2 of them that you can't replicate. And they're also super knowledgeable. They are bringing that when it's just the 2 of them, just talking about breaking down the plays. Why is this happening? That, I don't think any other one that's tried to replicate it has quite gotten.
They brought in Little Wayne. They were just calling him Wayne the whole time, and then they showed Eli Manning doing his rap. They're like, "What do you think about that, Wayne?" And he was in this blazer that said Celine on it or something. It was all wrapped out, and it was terrible. But he was like, "Oh, what do you think about that?" And it was just great. It was great broadcast. So I think I'm going to watch that again this Monday night. But 'cause especially we got Colts and Chargers, right? So
It's the only way you can enjoy that game.
yeah, try to watch it that
Colts
way.
and Chargers.
I mean, Chargers is good.
Chargers, I guess they're playing for something.
Yeah, they can still make the playoffs.
Sunday night games, Arizona.
Justin
Tampa
Herbert,
Bay.
by the way, I believe is second in the league in passing yards. Just want to throw that out there.
Second worst game of the week is Tampa Bay versus Arizona, and that's a Sunday night game. I mean, Tampa Bay's playing for something, but like Arizona's not.
They're definitely not. Trace McSorley might be playing for them.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Because Colt McCoy got a concussion. So
I feel like we haven't had a football product in a while. What is the next football release that's coming out? I feel like we went through the whole month of December without any football releases.
it's been baseball.
It's been a lot of baseball.
It's baseball in December.
We've got Mosaic football.
The way it should be.
Mosaic football next week. So
Mosaic football.
That should be fun.
Ooh, I think there may be an FOTL drop of Mosaic football tomorrow.
There we go.
Wild Card Automania.
Thursday. I don't know when we're going to air this, but Thursday.
Oh, and then we got XR football January 4th.
XR football. Doesn't that usually come out earlier in the
I
season?
feel like it did. Spectra football on the 13th of January.
That's a good one. People like it.
Impeccable on the 18th of January.
A lot of January football releases, huh?
Illusions in January. We've got this according to Blowout card release, subject to change. Don't hold me to it. And then we have a lot of January TBDs, including Topps Chrome stuff for baseball and or for racing. Donruss football comes out in February, which I feel like that one should have already came out, but it didn't. Zenith comes out in February. So we got a lot of 2022 releases coming up still. So we're barely in the first quarter of football releases. So be well past the Super Bowl. We'll still have some of these major releases coming out.
But we are, what is it, week 16, 17, 15?
15. Because it goes to week 18.
Week 15.
Yep.
No, week 16, right?
This is week
16.
16.
Yeah, 16,
coming up.
17, 18. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, that's all we got for you guys today here on The Hype. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Check out the breaks, mojobreak.com, and the Sealed Wax website for Pokemon gaming, any sealed sports box, mojobreakshop.com, and we'll see you guys on next week. Also, wait, before I let you guys go, check out the Bob Means interview we did with eBay. eBay Vault, something that I'm using every day. I've been buying cards and putting them over in the eBay Vault. The last episode, we had Bob Means on, and if you're interested in the eBay Vault, he answers all your guys' questions. So tune in if you haven't tuned into that, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of The Hype.
Happy holidays.